Zombie Apocalypse.
Alright, what is going on, you guys? Bastion Wadger here in my new setup. We'll see how this works out. Hopefully that camera does not fall, as I don't know if you can see here in the mirror. Probably can't, but it's not very stable. But let's really hope it does not fall, because the brand new camera that my girlfriend got me, that's that's critical information that you must now do know. So you're welcome. So anyway, I do want to go ahead and show you guys my Prankits deck profile, guys. This deck, I really just love this deck. It's just such a fun deck to play. There's so many different ways to go ahead and combo off, and with the way that it's evolved since the Meow first came out, it's just gained so many more not direct support cards, but it's just evolved in the way that now I know how to play around the meta. It's evolved in ways where better not fall. It's evolved in ways where now I can play through the interruptions. I can go ahead and have. So I love the way that the deck has just evolved overall. I think it's overall grown to a very strong tier 2 deck. I want to say 1.5, but that's a little bit biased on my end. But anyway, guys, I'm just go ahead and show you guys what this deck is really about. What I play in it, what are the new extenders I went ahead and added into the deck just to give that extra bit of juice that I really think it needed to make this deck that much stronger. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into it, guys. Of course, first get into the Prankit main deck lineup. You want to play through each and every single Prankit. So you want to play triple Lampsies, triple Dropsies, triple Fansies, and triple Roxies. Pretty standard. You never want to play any less than this, because this is the main way to go ahead and combo off. As long as you have one of these, you're good to go. So you want to max out on each and every single one of them, so you have that potential to, or less likely, well, yeah, it's much less likely to break. So anyone playing double Roxies, like, understand Roxy isn't the greatest card, but it does let you unbreak your hand. You can banish a card from your hand, draw another one, and then special summon. It's a plus. It's a +1 at the least, you know. So you do get that really good advantage with Roxy's. Definitely don't sleep on it. Play it at 3. Next, of course, you're gonna play triple Ash Blossom and triple Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. I've been playing with a whole bunch of different hand traps. I've been thinking about playing Imperm, playing Droll, playing even Effect Veiler worked out for a little bit, but I think this is just the best, most generic hand trap lineup that you will end up needing. I don't think that you're gonna need anything else other than Ash and Ghost Bell. Just in this current format, if you're only gonna play 6 hand traps, and the way I'm playing it, I'm just playing the 6 hand traps, and that is literally it. So play those. Next, when it comes to our spell cards, we do go ahead and play triple Pandemonium and triple Polymerization for the totally awesome combo, of course. Alright, so you do play triple Pandemonium and triple of the Polymerization, just so you make sure that you're able to have as many ways to fuse as possible. There's no ways where I just can't get Pandemonium to my hand, because they might Ash my Cock-a-doodle-doo, whatever it might be, but I make sure that I always have a second option, so I always have that option to go ahead and combo off and fusion, link summon as much as possible. So if I play 6 fusion cards, it's definitely go ahead and optimize. That'll be the correct way to go ahead and play this deck, at least this build of this deck. So you play 6 Polymerizations, and of course, when it comes to the fuel spells is a little bit nuts, guys. Go ahead and bear with me. You play double Prankit's Place, you play triple Mystic Mine, 1 Fusion Recycling Plant, and then 1 Terraforming and 1 Set Rotation. So I understand this is a little bit nuts for a lot of people here, but really this is such a good field spell lineup, right? You got Prankit's Place that allows you to go ahead and make sure that you're able to chain block. Very important. Don't forget you can chain block with Prankit's Place if you go ahead and link or fusion summon, as long as your opponent has a monster on board. So that's really key to go ahead and never make sure you forget. Next, Mystic Mine is really it speaks for itself, really. The card's absolutely broken, even as it is right now. It just shuts down so many decks. I understand some people may not like Mystic Mine. I get it, but if you're gonna play a tier 2 or below deck, you play whatever cards get you the most advantage. If the tier 1 decks can play triple Tactic Talents, I will play Mystic Mine. It seems like a pretty fair trade, you know? And Future Cycle Plane, of course, allows you to, again, that consistency to keep recycling your polymerizations. Make sure you always have a way to fuse in your hand. This is probably the one that I used the least out of the 6 fuel spells, to be perfectly honest with you guys. But if you want to go ahead and take that out to put another prank in its place, I definitely understand. I would probably do the same, but it's just been working out so well. It's having set rotation is such a broken card. It's absolutely ridiculous. You go ahead and give them a fusion recycling plan and give yourself a Mystic Mine, whatever it might be. It's such a good card. If they interrupt everything, it's such a great card to go ahead and just fall back on. Okay, great. I'm gonna just sit on this, wait till something happens, and you refill your hand. So it helps you buy time in worst case scenario options. So if you ever look at a lot of my deck profiles, I like to have a last option. Like if everything goes wrong, I like to have that one card that's going to help you. I like to have that one card that's going to help you extend, or is going to help you survive even longer if necessary. Sorry, someone's calling me. Don't know who it was. It was a scam. Next, of course, guys, one Prank Kids Pranks. You really just need to play it at 1. It's searchable. It's a great card. It's pretty much a pot of average for the archetype, which is amazing, right? But I think just play it at 1 is really all you need. Then you play triple Book of Eclipse. This card is absolutely nuts. I have gone back and forth between Book of Moon and Book of Eclipse. The only reason I choose Book of Eclipse is if I draw it while my opponent has a board set up. They go into the battle phase before they have anything that negates spells specifically, because a lot of decks right now are centered around negating monster effects, and again, it helps me buy that 1 extra turn. Plus, a lot of times I'm going to be messing around with my link monsters or fusion monsters, which means Book of Eclipse is not really going to affect me too much. So if I want to get over like Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, Book of Eclipse, Book of Moon, their entire board, and then I go ahead and I can combo off with my plays. That way I know they don't have anything to combat what I'm doing, unless they play that one dinosaur that no one can pronounce, Coatlis, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so triple Book of Eclipse or Book of Moon, you can go with either one. I definitely prefer Book of Eclipse just because of how I've seen the consistency and just how strong it gives it so many more different scenarios that you can implement it with. Then to round off that, guys, 3 last 2 spells. It's gonna be 1 World Legacy Succession, Monster Reborn, and Instant Fusion. Some of the 3 greatest extenders ever. Reason I keep looking back, sorry, Harper, my dog, she's just hanging out, being fuzzy. So you want to play these extenders because it just helps you. Again, if your opponent's going to go ahead and negate everything, that's perfectly fine. You have extenders, you have ways to continue your plays. I did want to go ahead and play more World Legacy Successions, but I do want to make sure I keep this deck at 40 cards and not keep it anything more, because that just brings inconsistency, right? And then of course you do want to play the Prank Kids Plan as the final card in your deck, guys, because it is a good way to go ahead and make sure you're able to link summon after you do your plays. Say you fusion summon for Battle Butler, you activate your Prank Kids fusion with them, right? Then you special summon a whole bunch of random Prank Kids that do absolutely nothing for you. So you can use Prank Kids Plan to link summon on your opponent's turn, and then summon like a Bow Wow to go ahead and give your monster protection, give it your Battle Butler an attack boost, or you can get a chicken so you can get yourself another Pandemonium for your following turn, or a Prank Kids Pranks or a place if you want to need another way to extend. And that's really what it is, guys, as far as the main deck. 40 cards, no more, no less. We can't play less because that's illegal, but that's pretty much what it is as far as the consistency goes. I think this is definitely the best way to go ahead and play Prank Kids right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get right into the extra deck. As far as the extra deck is concerned, you play triple Prank Kids Meow Meow. A lot of people playing it at 2. I was playing it at 1 myself. If you see my very first deck profile on this, that was way wrong. So you definitely want to play it at 3, because there are times where you will go into the grind game, and if you don't have a way to combo off, then that pretty much screws you over. So I'd rather go ahead and keep 3 Meow Meows, and pretty much most games I play that go into a grind game, I end up using all 3 easy, right? So it's such a good card. It lets you go ahead and Regeki your opponent's board twice as long as you have the Battle Butler. Such an amazing card. It's ridiculous they printed it. It's ridiculous they even printed it. Next, you want to play double Cock-a-Doodle-Doo. Again, great cards. You have to go ahead and search and add back when you tribute it. Tributing is cost, so it lets you get around a lot of things as well. Then you play double of the Bow Wow Bark. Reason why you play 2 is because, like I said, if you get into that grind game, you want to be able to have the resources necessary for you to be able to go ahead and combo off and to be able to, I guess, do all these things that you normally wouldn't. Because if you play it at 1, that's great. And there's a lot of times where you might just need 1, but it's so good to have that second one in case the first one gets banished or negated, whatever it might be. You want to have that second one for just in case. Like I said, that's my main thing when I do deck profiles. I want to make sure that you always have a backup plan. Right. Next, you do have your one Prankets Rip Roaring Roaster. There's a lot of trap heavy decks in this format, so you want to make sure you're finding ways to combat these guys. This Roaring Roaster is really easy to bring out. As long as you're able to bring out the Bow Wow Bark and the chicken, anyone who plays Prankets knows that's not really that hard to do. Bring out both of them, link summon. You're able to bring out the Roaring Roaster turn 1, turn 2, and then you can go ahead and blow up your opponent's back row. In a combo, this is not a combo oriented format. It's very control deck format. So in order to get around the control decks, you are gonna have to go ahead and make sure that you are able to just blow up the back row. And that's really the best way to go ahead and go about it. This way, you got to make sure you don't skip out on this card. I see a lot of people not play this card. I think it's absolutely incorrect. You should definitely at least play one Roaring Roaster with enough of the Link monsters. Now we're going to go ahead and go into the fusions. As far as the fusions goes, guys, you play 1 of the Weather Washer, 2 Prankets Rocket Ride, and 2 of the Battle Butler. There's really no need to play 3 Battle Butler. I've never missed it, and if anything, if I'm that far behind to the game, I most likely have a Prankets Pranks to shuffle it back, or I can do it with another of our Link monsters. There's really no need to play it more than 2 for any of these. Weather Washer, I really didn't play, but it's again good to have just in case scenario where your opponent has the back row. So that's pretty much it for the Links and the fusions. Now I do play 2 Xyz monsters that play 1 Totally Awesome and 1 Abyss Dweller. Alright, so Abyss Dweller is amazing because you're able to go ahead and do the polymerization combo. Where instead of summoning Toad, you summon, instead of summoning 2 Dropsies with the combo, you summon 2 Roxies. Then you're able to go ahead and overlay into Abyss Dweller and shut off your opponent from the graveyard. Now graveyard effects are really strong nowadays, guys, so definitely don't sleep on Abyss Dweller. It's such an amazing card. If you can play it, play it. Same thing with Totally Awesome. The card speaks for itself. It's ridiculous, right? So pretty much it for the main deck and the extra deck, guys. Now I am going to show you for pretty much the first time, I think, the side deck that I'm playing with this deck. Now, as far as the side deck goes, I am playing triple Lancia, of course, right? Card's absolutely busted right now. Triple Nibiru, triple D-Barrier, triple Imperm, and then triple Solemn Judgment. You really can't go wrong with this. I know I don't play any spells in my side deck, but I just didn't think there was really spells that would be stronger than these cards currently are right now. Judgment is such an amazing card going first if you know your opponent is very heavily reliant on their normal summon, or they need a specific card to go off. That's why you play Judgment, right? Imperm, again, that interruption going second. D-Barrier, if you're going up against Zodiac, you just flip D-Barrier and they start crying because they can't do anything, right? You play Nibiru and Lancias. You gotta make sure that you're able to go ahead and hit the problematic monsters and problematic decks for the current format, and I think this just does the best of doing this. So that's pretty much gonna be it for the deck profile, guys. Go ahead and leave a like down below if you guys did enjoy. Subscribe for more videos, and if you have any comments as far as like what you guys want to see, if there's anything that you guys want me to try out, any deck you guys want me to build, test on YGO Pro, whatever it might be, go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll be sure to get to it. But until then, I will go ahead and sign off. I'll see you guys in the next video.